What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Sit Our 10 podcast. I'm sitting here next to my friend Jason Wojo, and I have a really important topic that I want to talk about today. It's called Stay Away from They.
And me being short, me looking like I was younger. When I was in high school, I was a senior. People used to tell me that I was in middle school because that's how the way I looked, and that's the one reason why I got picked on a lot. People basically try to bring me down as much as possible. And, that's the one thing that motivated me so much to the point where I am today because I basically wanted to, stick it to them and let them know, you know what, I don't care how I was 3 years ago, this is how I am now. And there's a lot of people now who used to go to my high school, and, now they're not doing great. They either got into some pretty bad situations, like outside, the high school circle, and either got arrested or they're not in college right now. They're just not doing what they love, and it's because of all the negativity that they basically spread when they were younger, especially to kids like me. But kids that get negative vibes thrown towards them, most of them will take that and use it as an excuse not to do anything. I took that as motivation to basically get to the point where I am today, where I block out all distractions, all negativity. And, back what I was saying about, a couple weeks back, I saw a lot of people from high school, and I was out with my friend one night, and a bunch of them came up to me and they're like, yo, I love what you're doing, like, keep it up, like, how are you doing this, how are you doing that? And, like, a couple of them were like, yo, like, we're sorry we picked on you. And it's funny how people change because of what I'm doing now, and people are still too dragged on the past. See, in the present moment of me getting picked on and brought down, I use that as motivation on the present and then to the future. So I don't know if you have any stories that you
No,
can
I
relate
mean
to, but
I think that's an awesome story. What did kids do to you in high school? Like, how did they bully you? What did they do?
basically I just got excluded from everything. When
Yeah.
I was in high school, this was back when I wasn't doing the stuff I'm doing now. I was just playing video games a lot. I was just trying to grind and do my thing. And kids want to get into parties and stuff. No one invited me, no one hung out with me. Girls didn't take me seriously. So that's just the way it was, cause I guess my body shape or whatever. That's just the way it was. So I had to take that and pretty much sink that in. It wasn't hard to sink it in because I don't know, my dad was the real reason why I kept myself together, was because my dad built huge self-esteem in me to basically realize this is just the present, you can do so much more, and don't let these kids mess with what you're doing, because my dad knew that I was going to do great things. And my dad always used to tell me you know what, you got this, you don't need these kids now because they're all immature, which was very true. Most of high school kids are very immature, they don't know who they are yet. And basically I was just trying to find myself, and that's the point where I was.
A comment right away from actually a peer of mine, a kid who plays professional soccer. I don't know who he is, but he decided to comment, saying that I'm stealing someone else's idea. So social media to me, if I was trying to steal someone else's idea, I guess I would have been stealing their idea for a long time, because everyone who I know is on social media, and it's for everyone. Social media is for everyone. Social media is for everyone to share their lives, to share whatever it is they want to do, to share to the world. And I think that's the beauty about it. There's so much that we can do with all these different media channels to spread all the positive things. I started my YouTube channel to bring you guys, people who support me, whether it be fans, friends, a closer look as to everything that I'm doing in my everyday life, in my athlete life, those positive things. Jason, I know you started your media company, so now people are coming to you, and being supportive.
Yeah.
Even though in your past they were the ones who bullied
it's
you.
funny. Yeah, because back then, the thing I really wanted to say real quick was, back then when people used to hate on me, people would usually deploy hate back. And I think that that's the wrong thing to do, because you're giving them attention. So I'm not going to give anybody attention on this platform whatsoever, whoever, was talking bad about me when I was younger. But the one thing that I learned when I was a kid was to deploy empathy back towards them, because now I've learned so much about myself. But back then, when I was deploying empathy, that was the best thing for me because I learned how great kindness really was, and that really led to the tenacity, the positivity that I spread now, and being able to realize that someone might be hurt inside. That's why they're spreading negativity, and spreading empathy instead of basically telling them, shooting them back with something else, maybe making fun of them in their own way. That's not the right way to go. You have to just stick to yourself, focus on yourself, and just deploy empathy towards any hate that you get, because you just got to stick on your track and stop letting these people's opinions of you distract you, and don't let them trip you up whatsoever.